This is an update on the 1966 F100 with the Raptor crate engine. Some asked for a little more detail. This is what I did for engine mounts. Kind of hard to see here, but I used this factory F150 mount. I just made a little bit of a pad and had to weld a tab on it to support to make it strong enough. I've also added a redhead 16:1 ratio power steering gearbox, and hopefully that'll help a lot. I had already added a custom built, a kind of a road race style type of custom sway bar that was engineered for the particular application, and I built and assembled it. So this is the 1 of 5 Raptor crate engines, and I'm using 100% all Raptor intake, airbox, tubing, radiator, fans, intercooler. Here we have the Bayer billet master with a stock 77 F150 power brake booster that fits just fine. I'm using the stock 66 F100 column, steering column here that I've adapted to work with the 10-speed, the 10R80. So I have the pattern and everything exactly correct, so it looks all stock, but it works great to get all the gears for the 10-speed. So here, just more of the plumbing here. Still have to tidy up the wiring and then mount the PCM, which will be on the fender with the battery. But here I have the Pancake Cooler for the Raptor, and it all fits in here really nice. Had to make a little bracket. Here's the idler for the transit power steering pump that's also mounted off that same bracket to be used with the redhead steering gearbox. And these are the transmission cooling lines for Raptor. I just had to reshape them slightly, and all that'll bolt on to the front and fit and clear the grill and bumper, valance, all of that. The battery junction box will mount on this right apron. I'm using the the factory coolant pump and the valve, for the transmission cooler. The factory Raptor heater hoses, I have them just untouched, stock location, and I have them hooked up to the heater core. So I have the factory style aluminum. It's actually a vintage air AC unit that's aluminum core, and I welded on the click-on connections from a Raptor, so the hoses fit perfectly there. It's very, very close. If the engine was, say, even an 1/8 inch up or down, forward, back, side to side, it wouldn't fit. But here it fits perfectly. There's a lot of clearance for the turbos, the tubes, the line, AC compressor. The engine mount is kind of buried there, but it's under the turbo here, and that's the factory F150. I didn't even have to do any welding on the passenger side. Just a quick update what we're at right now. This here is the Raptor cooling fans, radiator, condenser, overflow bottle that pretty much bolts right into the 66 core support, making much easier mounting. Just a few modifications to the lower for clearance to get it to pull right up tight against the core support. And here I cut the original truck drive shaft apart, aluminum drive shaft. It's 4 7/8 approximately. And I made a fixture to put it in my little cheapo press to make it oval shaped to fit the Raptor Raptor airbox. And then so what I do from there is I'll have it coming out the front of the core support, and I'll put a flare on it where I can use the it'll be, you know, functional ram air. There could have been better ways to do it if I had the equipment and such to do it, but this is for the dollars and equipment I have, that's what I came up with. On the insides here, I have just wanted to show the stock steering wheel column. Obviously a custom cab. It's not a true Ranger. I have a couple other Rangers, but this is a Ranger clone. It was just, I guess, the sportiest and to fit the thing. So the dash, everything will be, I'll use the stock bezel, but I'll install the 2018 F150 cluster in behind it. This dash pad actually happens to be an NOS one I bought almost 21 years ago. Still a little bit to do to tidy up the interior. Here I'm using the factory fill for the tank, for the fuel tank. And I've adapted, I cut another tank apart and used pieces in it for the float, so I have a pressure and return for the fuel injection. But this tank here is only for fuel supply. I have a aeromotive pump bolted to the frame underneath, which I'll get a little short video of. And then that will supply fuel to the rear tank, that there will be no pump. It won't actually run off this front tank. It's just a 19-gallon auxiliary to the custom aluminum 5052 aluminum 27-gallon rear tank. It's just the body and paint. I still need to color sand it and buff it. You can see the custom shot wheels got about a whole lot of dust on them. I've been sitting for 20 months at this point since I drove it last. Here we have the aeromotive pump, supply pump that'll fill the rear tank. I did kind of change my mind a bit that I can also fill the rear tank with the Capless Filler. I'll show that in a bit here, but here's the pump. This will run about 15 psi, and it should supply about the same amount of fuel as what your gas pump will supply, so it'd be fairly quick. And I'll have a valve with a vent returning from the rear tank to the front tank to vent it. Here's the 27-gallon custom homemade tank. It's the same exhaust from when I had the 482 FE in it. I just had to reshape it and have it hidden, kind of dropping under the side of the box panel here to just to kind of keep it hidden. But it's a 304 stainless, 3-inch in diameter, and it does have the duals on it, of course. So we'll have to see what it sounds like. Here we have the Capless Filler from the 2018 that I have hidden within the bumper. I have a flip down license plate bracket here. That's from one of my 70 Cyclones from years ago. Just to kind of, I didn't want to start putting holes in the bedside and such. I wanted to appear stock. I don't know if I can get at this, but here's how I had a piece machine to fit the tank and the hose that I TIG welded in. Get a little better angle of the exhaust there. Just kind of, you won't really see it from the back. I put a little bevel on the back of the tank just so it won't be so noticeable from the back. So here we have the custom cab dash bezel with the F150 cluster mounted in behind it. This cluster is just a reproduction. The original I had re-chrome, but I'll be using it in my F100 Ranger. But this, where the white is here, that's the mounting for the chrome rings that go around the gauges here. So they're out. I have to trim them a little bit to get those to fit the 66 dash. I'll try to find a picture when I had the engine fired up that I had it running and lit, so I'll try to add a picture of that for the end.